Wanted to share a brief message with you today about neediness. The number one thing, I'm just going to cut right to the chase, the number one thing that I have found can really help when dealing with neediness after you have the awareness that you have that within you is that you have to go on and live your life. So you could have a partner who's playing some sort of passive-aggressive game, and that triggers your neediness and your fear and your wounding and your abandonment issues. And maybe what you have done in the past is you kind of chased after them and you escalated, and then you demanded some sort of reassurance, which then they just pushed you further and farther away, and it makes things worse. In that kind of situation, if someone wants to walk away, let them walk away. And then come back into yourself and go about living your life. This is completely opposite what you learned to do. You learned to work really hard to get attention and confirmation and feel good from someone else. You learned to externalize your power. You learned that other people gave you your sense of security. So when you realize that you're starting to do that, also realize that you have the power within you to give that to yourself. If someone wants to walk away from you, let them walk. If someone wants to play a game, let them play their game over there somewhere where it doesn't involve you. You don't have to join in that game. Let them throw their little tantrum. Maybe you have laundry to fold. Maybe you have errands to do. Maybe you have some emails to catch up on. In other words, you have your own life. Your sense of security, your sense of worthiness, your self-respect comes from you, not from somebody else. It starts within you. And that's something that we can learn now. We didn't learn it perhaps when we were young because we had a very dysfunctional environment, okay? But that's something you can learn to do now. It may be not someone playing a passive-aggressive game. Maybe it's someone in your life, a friend, a family member, or someone else. Maybe they're just not the best communicator. Maybe they're not very organized. They don't plan very well. Or they're just kind of a space case. So they don't mean anything harmful to you. They care about you, but they just don't really communicate and make plans with you very well, and they're kind of wishy-washy, and they change their mind a lot, and they say we're going to meet at this time, and then they change it, and it feels to you like you're just getting taken for granted and like they don't care, and you're just sitting there waiting by the phone, waiting for the text to come in of confirmation of when your next plans are. And you start to feel angry. Well, in that case too, you can recognize what you know about your friend or your family member or whoever it is. What can you do? I don't recommend sitting by the phone, sitting at home and putting your life on hold. Knowing this about that person, you can just say, okay, in the meantime, I'm going to go about my life because that's what would be respecting me. That is what I need to feel good about myself and the kind of day that I want to have. And they can jump around and do whatever, and jump around meaning change their mind as much as they want. But in the meantime, you got to live your life. And it'll either line up or it won't. So the process of healing neediness is really about taking that responsibility for yourself. That when coming from dysfunction, all the responsibility was somebody else's. Both whoever hurt you and what they taught you to do in response. So we learn to outsource responsibility. And to heal, it means to reclaim that and say, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take charge of my day, of what I want, and get busy living life. Because that's all I can do. You can't control somebody else. You can't control how they react. You're not responsible for it. And I know how hard it can be when you're in the middle of that transition because all these very painful feelings come up. Just let them come up. They are just feelings. The problem is that when we have suppressed our feelings and tried to get other people to bolster us and to make us feel good, when that is gone and those uncomfortable feelings rush in, is then we say, that's who I am. No one wants me. Everyone's going to leave me. I'm going to be alone. And all these other things. We attach to that and say, now that's who I am. How I'm feeling is who I am. That's me. And then it just like spirals down from there. But that's not who you are. Those are just feelings. And if you can be present with them and let them be felt and breathe, take some deep breaths. Maybe it'll go away for a bit, then it'll come back in. That's fine. Just be present with it. Know that it's there. Don't try to stuff it down. And really, you'll be okay. And that's how that feeling moves and kind of gets out of us. And you start to find that, hey, I like myself. I like being with me. I like my downtime. I like my quiet time. It's great. And you're no longer afraid to be with you. And you build self-respect. You build a level of comfort with yourself. So you no longer tolerate people being abusive or mistreating you or being disrespectful. You let them be who they are. Okay. And you just go about your life. It takes practice. This takes practice because the old program is strong. You've been doing it for a while. But keep moving through it. Keep practicing, and the more you do it, the easier it will get. So that's it. I hope this helps. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.